Good morning everyone, welcome to our small footprint. My name is Nyssa, and if you're new here, we are a family of 8 who live off-grid in Australia. Now today's video is our grocery video. So normally I would have done this all in the same day. We had a little bit of a different trip. So I go down about 4 hours away. Normally I leave on a Wednesday and I come back on a Friday evening, and I do Woolworths, Coles, Aldi, Kmart, Bunnings, fruit and veg, butcher and Costo. Now, because I had a couple of medical appointments while I was down there, I left on the Tuesday. I had an MRI on the Friday, so I didn't get back until Saturday. So we did the fruit and veg and butcher on the Friday because I already booked in to go and see them. And then Costco on the Saturday, and I'd done Aldi and all the rest of it during the week. So it left things a little bit uneven. We also bought a bit more this shopping trip because the last time I went was 8 weeks ago, which was the first time I'd gone 8 weeks, which meant I was getting a little bit more of an idea of how much we went through in 8 weeks. And some of the stuff that we get was completely gone. We'd run out completely. So we had to buy a little bit extra for that. And then we had issues with fitting it all in the car, and the fruit and veg, obviously we got on the Friday, but I wasn't driving back till the Saturday. So I had to do some prep for that on the Friday at my mum's place before loading it back in the car for the Saturday. Lots of bits and pieces. And so the trip was a little bit hectic this time, and Mum and I had discussed the fact that doing it over 2 days might be nice, but it wasn't, because it was just 2 really exhausting days instead of 1 really exhausting day. So we got it done anyway. So I'm not entirely sure how long this lot of groceries is going to last me. We were short on funds as well, so I had to just be careful what I was buying and be aware, which I am all the time anyway, but I haven't planned for when the next trip is, so it'll be 6 to 8 weeks, and I'll have to just have a look at dates and things like that and decide what's going to happen dependent on how long the food lasts and things like that as well. So we'll see how we go. So I'll show you everything we got. Now I've got a clip first that shows you a little bit, I'll speed up, of the unpacking. So everything goes on the back of a ute and in the back seat of a ute, and when I come back we use wagons and stuff to walk it all from out where we park the car into on the table. But we only have limited space on the table as well, so we tend to do it in layers. So there's like 4 different tablefuls that I'm showing you, and we have to load up the table for each one and that sort of thing. So a little bit of a clip here of the unpacking, then I'll show you all the different tables, and then I'll come back and I'll give you the totals of everything. Alrighty, first table lot. So this is the first table or tables full. So we have, I'm not sure entirely how long it's going to be for the next shopping trip, but because the last shopping trip was 8 weeks, we are completely out of a lot of things. So this was a bit of a bulk buy of a lot of things to top it up. So we ended up with 48 of the rice milk, I had to go to 2 different Aldis to do that, which is pretty normal. Aldi has only limited stocks. I got 36 of the coconut creams. We use this for so many different things, cooking, baking, smoothies, everything. So we go through this fairly quickly. We've got 24 tins of corn. I bought half a dozen packets of the rice paper spring roll wrappers, and I bought 10 of the 2-litre UHT milks. This is for yogurt. I've been really slack with making yogurt lately, so I really need to get back in the habit. I have 4 jars of the tomato paste, 4 of the Costco honey. So this honey at Costco is only 95 cents per 100, which is cheaper than the Aldi honey, which I think is $1.16 per 100. So, and this one has a squeezy top as well, so I'll have to remember that next time and not grab the Aldi one as well. And we got 4 of the blueberry jam from Aldi that the kids really like, that I like the jars for as well. I bought a powdered garlic and one of our favorite gravy mixes, 2 of the Skibby's peanut butter. Now they didn't have crunchy, and we normally get crunchy, so some kids are complaining, but they will live. And we got some ketchup. I buy this once every shopping trip because it's nice with the hot dogs on shopping night. So if you've ever watched one of my grocery hauls before, our dinner on grocery haul night is always hot dogs. So ketchup for hot dogs, it doesn't last very long here. A couple of bags of the rice vermicelli for the rice paper rolls, some raw sugar for canning. I got 4 coffee beans. I prefer these ones, but they are $2.20 per 100, I think. These ones here are only, I want to say $1.40 or $1.70 per 100 because they're just from Aldi, but I do prefer these ones, so I went half-half. I got spiral pasta. I got a dozen of these because we only have a couple left. I got 6 of the macaroni style, and I got 18 of the spaghetti style. Again, we've pretty much got like 2 of each of these left in the crate, and that's it. Some apple cider vinegar from Costco, and 6 of the passata from Costco as well. I got a bag of jasmine rice from Costco as well because they're low on white rice, and some of the arborio rice for risottos. Now, I bought a whole lot of oats, so I'm not entirely sure how many packets are here, but one of the Coles didn't have all the large packets, so they sent me some of the small packets as replacements and things like that. So I think I might have ordered 10 of these from Woolworths and 10 from Coles when I got the grocery delivery. So that would be about 36 kilos of oats, which doesn't do us a huge amount of time, to be honest, but it's a good amount, and we can't store too much more than that either to keep it safe from the mice and that. Laundry liquid, I got a few more than normal because we keep on running low on it. So I got 8 of these. I really need to make my laundry liquid. I just haven't got to it, and so this is what we're using. Dish detergent, I got 6 of those ones. I got 2 of the olive oil. This is the Kirkland blend olive oil that we like. It was $49.99 this month. It has fluctuated in price over the last few shopping trips, but $49.99 is not a bad price. I got 6 of the sun-dried tomato pesto and 18 of the basil pesto to go on the shelf. And I got some extra cereal this month as well. So normally I just buy half a dozen of each, and when they run out, they run out. But it really does make my life easier in summer for them to come out and have cold cereal. So there is 10 of the Wheat Bix and 8 of the Rice Bubbles. I got 16 of the rice crackers, which I always get a box of those, and 6 of the rice cakes. I sometimes buy 2 packs of these, but they haven't been eating them as much lately, so we still had some left. There is 4 bags of corn chips for the kids. They like corn chips. These were half price currently, so that's why we got Cece's brand. And I got 3 of the 12.5 kilo baker's flour and 1 of the plain flour. All right, second load is the bulk fruit and veg. So I got a box of pineapples. So it looks like there's 2, 4, 6, or probably 12 of them. I got these for $20. I got 6 big cabbages. They are $2 each. Now, all of this fruit and veg had to sit in a car for an extra 24 hours this week because I had to go to the MRI, so I had to stay an extra day, which meant that I still went to the fruit and veg on the Friday, but I didn't drive home till the Saturday. So some of this stuff looks a bit sad because it's sat there for that extra amount of time, and it does mean I'm going to have to do a bit of work with it, but that's fine. I got 6 of these bags of potatoes. These are 5 kilo bags of potatoes, and they're only $2.50 each because there was some water damage from rain and stuff. So I've actually had to pull a whole lot out and pull some rotten ones out and wash them. These 2 bags look okay though, but that's fine. I want to use them for canning, so I'll just get them used quickly. I got a bag of onions, a box of apples. These were just miscellaneous apples that were in the back of the cauldron that he sold me the box for. A box of gorgeous looking nectarines, really large ones, really big ones, and plums. These were, I think, $17 each, these 2 boxes. I got a couple of the small red potatoes from Costco because I really like these small red potatoes for like my roast pork over the top of and things like that. We got 2 boxes of tomatoes. Some of these are definitely going to need to be used straight up because they're in these deep boxes and they've been in that car for the extra 24 hours. So there's going to be some really soft ones in here, so I really need to go through them. I think each of these boxes were $16, I think. They weren't excessively cheap, but they were fine. A box of zucchini. These were only 70 cents a kilo, so I got a box of these. I bought a box of lemons. This was a $20 box of lemons, but they won't come into season again for a while, so it was worthwhile grabbing. I got a box of bananas. These definitely weren't cheap. I can't tell you how much they were. I paid for them regardless because we've got none left in the freezer and they're the kids' favorite fruit. I think they might have been $30 for this box. And a box of carrots. So these, I think each of these bags end up being about $1 a bag, and it's just a box, so maybe a $20 box as well of carrots. We go through a lot of carrots. The kids eat them by the dozen as snacks, but also for stock and canning and all that sort of stuff as well. All right, we're running out of space because we've got to get some of this fruit away and we just haven't got there yet, and then we're losing light. So next lot, we got 2 lots of the frankfurts for the hot dogs tonight, and I ended up with Costco hot dog buns because the way that the timing went. Normally I buy Coles or Woolworths ones. I prefer them from the bakery section, but these will be fine. I got a tub of Nuttall because I couldn't get any pig fat from the butcher. I did message them on Monday to say I need to pick it up on Friday, and they apparently had a box aside for me, but then someone else sold it to someone else, so I didn't get any. We're completely out of lard at the moment. Ghee is really expensive again at the moment, so I grabbed a Nuttall until but I've got that homemade dairy-free margarine thing that I can make as well, but this will get me through until I have time to do that. 2 tubs of the kids' favorite brand of hummus. There is some ham. These were marked down to $5 per pack at Costco, and then this bag was $7 at the butcher. So they can eat this one first. These ones have a longer date on them, and they can go in the fridge for later on in the month. I got some strawberries from the fruit and veg store. These were a clearance tray, so there was like 8 of these 500-gram punnets, but there was some bad ones in there. So when I was at Mum's, I washed them all and repackaged them and put them in with some paper towel and stuff so that they would get home. Some of them are quite squishy. We just have to freeze them and use them for smoothies. The kids can pick out the good ones, and then I'll freeze the rest of them. I got some salami for pizzas. I got the economy bacon. It was marked down to $4.99 a kilo at the butcher, so I think I got 8 of those. I got bone-in chicken thighs. Now, if anyone's been following me for a while, they've seen the boxes of chicken thighs that I was getting from the butcher a while back. It was an 18 kilo box of frozen chicken thighs for $49. They don't do that anymore, and apparently chicken prices are through the roof. But he did find for me a box out the back in the freezer, and these are the chicken thighs bone-in, but it was a 12 kilo box for $48. So the price has significantly increased, but we needed some bone-in chicken for to help with the stock and stuff for the dogs. I did find afterwards, and I was a bit frustrated because we had already driven away from it, but the Big Gun Butcher in Mount Cravat or somewhere there had whole chickens 5 for $12, and I would have been much better off getting those, but I saw it after I'd already done this, so that's life. I got a fresh silver side so that we can corn it ourselves and turn it into pastrami. A packet of the frozen roadies from Costco. I got some chuck steak, or it's stewing steak shin. These were $10 off a pack, so instead of $46.98 it was $36.98 because it was $10 off the whole pack, so that was a really good price for that. We've got 2 packets of chicken breasts. They are currently $9.79 a kilo, and they're about 2.5 kilos each packet, and 4 of the boneless, skinless thighs, which are currently running at $10.69 a kilo, and they're 2.25-ish kilos each pack. A couple of packs of the Borg's puff pastry. This is vegan, so it works well for us. There's no dairy in it, and it works out a really good price at Costco. 2 of the rolled pork roast that I always get. These are running at $7.99 a kilo at the moment, and each one is normally around about the 7 kilo mark. And so I got 2 of those, and a little bit of a treat in here. We got some pork back ribs, for baby back ribs to cook up as well. There was a nice small packet of them, so I grabbed those. I got a bag of frozen blueberries and frozen strawberries. Not that they're particularly frozen at the moment, but you know, they can go back in the freezer. And a milk to make our kefir with. And the last tableful, lots of miscellaneous stuff here that's been collected out from stuff that was all over the place. So we have some frozen veggies here. There's 4 packets of those. We still have some in the freezer. There is the beef mince. So the beef mince is $9.99 a kilo. They're about 4 kilo lots. This is 90-10 ground beef from Costco that we really like. I got some tomato juice to make my baked beans that I'm going to do. The canned baked beans. I ordered 4 of these, but they obviously had only 3 on the shelf, so they've replaced it with those 2, which is fine. I also grabbed 2 more of the mango cranberry and blueberry that I used to make the kids jelly at Christmas time, because they were half price and they worked really well. I grabbed a thing of paper towel. We don't use it much, but it's nice to have occasionally. 2 big things of the Quilton toilet paper. 2 isn't really enough to get us through the 8 weeks, but it's really bulky to put on the back of the car and in trolleys and stuff, so that's what we ended up with. I grabbed 2 jars of ghee. These are a different brand to what we normally get from Costco. Normally I get the Sol ghee and it's in a 2-pack. These were single and $15.99 each, so not too bad, $32 for the 2 of them. But I still only grabbed the 2 because I just don't have the funds at the moment to do it, which is a real pity because we couldn't get that fat for rendering lard down either. We're going to have to try and find another source for that. I grabbed some, this is one of the argan oil things that I use for my hair, some of the toothpicks that aren't made of wood, and they had some of these shampoo bars on clearance. They were $5, marked down from like 16 or something, so I grabbed a few of those. I make these, but like the laundry soap, I just haven't had time, so I grabbed them while they were on clearance. I grabbed some chocolate chips. These ones aren't my preferred. I do prefer the Honest to Goodness ones, but we've run out and I need to do a $500 minimum order if I do Honest to Goodness, so for the moment these will do us. I grabbed some mushrooms. The portobello ones are the ones that Darryl really likes, and some cup ones which are good for putting in cooking. Darryl will just eat these fried up with butter. Well, not butter, but fried up. Got some sultanas for the boys who really enjoy sultanas. I think Sonnet likes sultanas too. And some of the Mission tortillas. These are always a really great buy. It's a 3-pack of 12 for $8.40, I think. So they're great. I saw someone mentioning these flour tortillas that Costco sells and saying that they were really good for making the fried tacos with. And I couldn't get any corn tortillas at a decent price, so I grabbed these to give a go with that beef that I bought. Some of the stir-fry noodles that I always buy from Aldi for some quick meals throughout the month. And then I got some broccolini. They had some purple stuff and some green stuff, so I grabbed some of both. So I'm not sure, I'll have to find out, but like if you have purple beans, when you cook purple beans, they go green. So I wonder if the broccolini does as well. I grabbed a celery for stocks and things like that, a couple of bags of green beans to have in our stir fries and stuff in the first week or so. All this sort of stuff only lasts for the first week, and then we go back to frozen and that, but it's nice to have it in that first week. Some cos lettuce. This is for hamburgers, which again is something that we have generally in the first week. Cucumbers, the kids just eat these straight, real treat. A friend of Darryl's sent me some directions to grab Darryl something for his birthday that he would like, and Darryl really likes these marinated baby octopuses, so I grabbed him octopi, whatever. So I grabbed him this jar to have, and these yogurts were $5 $5 off or something. I think it was $12 for 18, which still isn't cheap for yogurt, but it's a nice little novelty for the kids. They really like these pouches. There's not much yogurt in each one, but they enjoy them, so it was just a treat for them. And that is everything for this month. All right, so I worked out exactly what we spent. I spent $210 at the fruit shop. I spent $145 at the butcher. I spent $339 at the first Aldi and $165 at the second Aldi, and then $149 at Coles and $150 at Woolworths, plus $1,200 at Costco. So the total was $2,360 basically, a little bit less cents. So what I do then is I work out what that works out on a weekly basis and things like that, and see how comfortable I am with how those totals ended up. So for that, if I go back in 8 weeks, then for the 8 weeks, that will be $294 a week for a family of 8. And we do not buy any top-ups at all in between, generally speaking. If I do, it's a bulk order of some sort that runs over like 6 months, and I update that for you too. We won't be getting a hamper this month either. They're not running one for February, so we may need to do a small top up in the middle of the month. Darryl might go and buy some carrots and potatoes and things like that just to get us through, but we'll see how we go and I'll let you know. And we normally pay $50 for the hamper, so that's fine. We'll use that $50. So that works out as $1.75 per person per meal if you're going 3 meals a day. So anything under $2 for me is fine. If it only lasts 6 weeks, it works out at $393 a week for the family of 8, and it works out as $2.33 per head per meal, which is okay. The thing is, though, that those dollar values include everything that's in those shopping. So within that shopping, there is all our laundry detergent, all our dishwashing liquid, and some shampoo and stuff. Normally, there's apple cider vinegar. There's a bunch of stuff that lasts longer than the time, but also is not necessarily food. So these numbers are very much rounded into approximates, but by using that approximation and having that as a running total across the board for each shop, then that works. So I know that $2.33 per person per meal actually isn't anywhere near that high, because there's a lot of stuff in there that isn't purely for meals. Also, when I buy the fruit and veggie bulk, like I bought a $20 box of pineapples, obviously those pineapples don't get eaten straight away. Some of them get canned up for pizza. The rind and cores get used to make cordial, and all that stuff lasts for lengthier periods of time than just one shopping trip. So because I buy seasonally, I buy lots in a season. It's tomatoes. There's I think there were $16 boxes of tomatoes. They will get turned into pizza sauce and pasta sauce and things like that, and they will go on the shelf for longer periods as well. So I'm pretty happy with those numbers, that it was a pretty successful sort of a trip. There was one major thing that I couldn't get. I think I mentioned it when I was unpacking. I normally buy a 10-kilo box of pig fat and render it into lard, and we use that for making pie crusts and for sauteing veggies in and all that sort of thing, except that I had requested a box, and then when I went to collect it, they couldn't find it. Someone must have sold it to someone else, which is kind of sucky because we don't have any left at all. I did work out the cost of it because we pay $6 a kilo for the pig fat. We got 7 litres of lard out of it last time, worked out around about $8 per jar, and I did, or per litre-ish, and I did work out that the olive oil that we buy works out about $8 a litre as well. So similar pricing to use olive oil instead, but it's just not as diverse. I much prefer using lard for a lot of things, so we're going to have to see if we can find anywhere else that can supply it. Obviously I can go back to that butcher next time we go down, but I can't guarantee that they would have it, and we'd really like some before then. So we're going to have a bit of a ring around. The butcher in town does sell some, but only in small quantities. To render lard, it's a big task, and it's much easier to do a large quantity at one time. So we'll see how we go. Otherwise, that was it for the grocery haul. I don't think there was anything else I needed to tell you. I'm recording this the next morning because it was dark by the time we got everything packed away, and then with starting on dinner and everything else, it was too dark to do it. So this is the next morning, which means that I may have forgotten something, but hopefully not. So thanks guys for joining me, and I will see you on the next video.